Hi everyone, and welcome to our virtual college fair this evening. Super excited to have you all here. We have 5 wonderful institutions here to tell you a little bit more about what each of them do. Before we get to that, I want to make sure that you all know how you could ask questions throughout this session. So you'll see this Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen. Feel free to open that up and submit questions at any point during this session. Folks are here to answer your questions, and so don't feel like you need to save those till the end. You can send them at any point. Note that your camera and microphone are off, and they will remain off for the whole session. And so really that Q&A is your best way to interact with our institutions here this evening. Remember that you can sign up for more sessions. We do have quite a few more sessions coming up in the coming days, and you can do so at www.strivescan.com/Virginia. And then at that same URL, you'll find a recording of this session available within the next week. So if you need to return to any of the colleges and institutions information, you could do so through that recording. But with that, we'll go ahead and kick things off. Our first institution in this session is Western Carolina.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Madeline Hucks. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions for Western Carolina.
And my name is Molly Tippett, and I am one of our other Assistant Directors of Admission here at Western. And we're just going to kick you off. Madeline's going to get us started here.
Yeah, so some really quick facts about WCU. We are located in Cullowhee, North Carolina, so we are about an hour west of Asheville. We are the westernmost school in the University of North Carolina school system. Additionally, we have about 12,000 students, so we're that perfect size. We're big enough but small enough to where you're still able to meet a lot of great people. We do have about 4,500 students living on campus, and you're more than welcome to live on campus throughout your full 4 years. It's up to you. And then as far as our academics, we do have around 120 majors. We do have 6 different colleges within that. We do have a 17-to-1 student staff ratio, so we try to keep those class sizes a little bit smaller for you guys so you're able to build the best relationships with your professors.
All right, so some application requirements if you are interested in Western. We require that first year application to be complete and submitted. That's the first thing you have to do. And we'll talk about some timeline stuff on the next slide. You need to submit your $65 application fee. Now, we do accept application fee waivers. However, you have to go and submit the fee waiver. So what you would do is go to application fee waiver, all one word, .wcu.edu, and submit through the fee waiver request form documentation showing something like an SAT or ACT fee waiver, free or reduced lunch, or a waiver from your counselor. And you can submit that all through that website. So high school transcript, when you do apply, you're going to submit an unofficial high school transcript through that application process. We just need the unofficial for the initial application. We will need the official later on, but for just the initial application, unofficial is fine. And you can either submit the unofficial or type in manually your grades, but we recommend the unofficial transcript just because it gives more information about your grades and all that good stuff. So SAT and ACT scores for this year, we take either or, but for this year, we are not requiring that you submit one to be reviewed and get a decision. You can submit them if you have them. We encourage you to do that. We also encourage, if you can take the test, to take the test because it may help with some scholarship opportunities. However, you do not have to submit it in order to get a decision due to COVID-19. Now, that is for the 2021 application year currently only. However, you know, we will reevaluate as things progress, but right now that is just for fall and spring of 2021. Community college transcripts, we will need them when you finish your coursework. However, typically we don't need them upon your initial application completion, just because we want to give you credit for them. Now, if you want to submit them, if you have them, we will take those into consideration, but we don't have to have a community college transcript to give you an initial application decision if you apply as a freshman. Essays, resumes, and letters of recommendation are also not required, but you are welcome to submit any of that information to us to help us learn more about you. So if you feel like you have a great essay and you really want us to learn more about you, go ahead and submit it. You can submit it via email, mail, or fax. And Madeline is going to talk a little bit about our timeline.
Yeah, so I'm going to quickly run through just some of these. I'm sure you all can read, so feel free to message us with any questions about these. But the main one I'm going to talk about now is our early action application deadline, which is November 15th. So go ahead, try to get that in as soon as possible so we can give you a decision by December 15th. Additionally, with that, that is non-binding. It's also called the Chancellor's Choice application. It's the same thing. So either one, go ahead and get those in. That way you have some options as far as school-wise. And also go ahead and start working on your financial aid and scholarship application and information. Those will be due February 1st. So definitely try to get that submitted as soon as possible. But like I said, those will be due February 1st each year. If you decide that Western is a school that you want to attend, that's awesome. We'd love to have you as a countermount. And the way that you tell us is by submitting 2 different deposits, one being tuition and one being housing. They will both be $150, so totaling $300, and that will be due May 1st of each year as well.
All right, and finally, this is the contact information for the General Admissions Office, which is admiss@wcu.edu. Our General Admissions telephone number is 828-227-7317. And then my email is at the top. Madeline's is right underneath me. And some important information about virtual visits. So we do have some in-person tours Monday through Friday. You do have to make a reservation online through that website, which is linked right there, visit.wcu.edu. And we have those tours at 9 and 9:15, 11:30 and 11:45, and 2 and 2:15, and they are limited in number due to COVID. So we highly encourage you and require you to register ahead of time. If you walk in, there may not be space for you. You may have to do a self-guided. So you're gonna need to register prior to coming. And also we have virtual tours that show the academic and student life. You can do a one-on-one meeting with me, Madeline, or any of our other admissions counselors. And we have Zoom lobbies Monday through Friday at 10 to 11 o'clock every single day. So feel free to come to any of those things if you have any questions, if you want to meet with us one-on-one. And like I said, the link to all that is visit.wcu.edu, and it's right there on that PowerPoint, so feel free to get in touch with us. Thank you so much for coming today and learning a little bit about Western Carolina University. We hope to hear from you soon.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Western Carolina. Definitely some great information there. Now we'll go ahead and head on over to University of Maryland College Park.
All right, hello everybody. Thank you for coming out today. So my name is Ryan Clear. So I'm an admissions counselor for the University of Maryland, and I oversee Northern Virginia. So we're just going to go over some key facts and figures about the university as a whole, and then we'll touch on admission, materials, but we're not going to go too deep into that. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the University of Maryland, hopefully many of you are, we are the flagship institution of the state of Maryland. So what that means is we are the oldest public institution in the state, founded in 1856. We are also the biggest institution in the state of Maryland, with over 30,000 undergraduate students and 10,000 graduate students. We are an R1 research institution, meaning we are doing the very highest level of research all the way from the undergraduate level through the PhD level. And of course, with that being said, with a big university, you're going to get all those advantages as well. So we have, again, over 4,000 faculty members, over 800 student organizations. And of course, we are a member of the Division I athletic program in part of the Big Ten. Now, of course, with that also being said, our programs are not only known as some of the best in the state, and the Northeast, as well as the best in the entire country. Our business school, engineering school, computer science program, criminology, and many others rank, again, not only in the top 25, again, in our region, but across the entire state as well. We are rated as the 16th best value for in-state residents and the 20th best university by public university by U.S. News World Rankings. And of course, one of the biggest key components for the University of Maryland really sells itself is our location. And I'm sure a lot of you in Virginia are very familiar with where we are, but we're located in College Park, pretty much on the other side of DC in Northeast DC. Now we are on the DC Metro map on the green and the yellow line. Once the purple line comes to campus, it's going to be adding Metro stops even on campus as well. Now, of course, the location is going to add a lot of benefits to your social life in terms of being able to go to Smithsonian museums and go to Georgetown and go to everything that DC has to offer. But as you start to become a future candidate for jobs and for internships, being so close to the city is really allowing you to get access that a lot of other students can't. Of course, you can go anywhere across the country and come back to DC for internships But our students are able to get these key internships and key opportunities during the school year. It allows them to have much more flexibility and, again, eventual marketability as they go into the job market. And that's one of the reasons why, UMD students hold 3 to 4 internships by the time they graduate, and then are so successful, for obtaining employment. Not only being the flagship and going to a great university, but that location access. They're starting to do that networking from the very first day on campus. On the other side of the argument, there's a lot of great schools in DC. Of course, there's so many great schools in the actual nation's capital. However, they're not going to be able to give you that traditional collegiate experience. At the University of Maryland, you're going to get everything you want from the traditional red brick buildings, the 800 student organizations, 30,000 students living in a 5-mile radius of themselves, the Greek Row, everything you want, and of course, the student life and that experience from the Alumni Association, from all of our numerous alumni, of course, but just that collegiate environment. There's no real other place across the country where you can tailgate for a Big Ten football game on Saturday, have everything you want, have Scott Van Pelt come to campus for game day, give you that Maryland Terrapin pride, and then you can go into DC and have an elite internship on Monday. It's a really nice blend of having that collegiate environment with all the amenities of a metropolitan city right at your fingertips. Now, I've already touched on some of the special experiences, but that's really just a brief taste in whatever you can do going to a university as powerful as the University of Maryland. Of course, research and internships are something that we very push. Again, being an R1 institution and having that connection to DC, we are really pushing our students to have internships. Some programs are even requiring them and giving students more internships than their students, available. They're going to be pushing students to get and push themselves even further. So because we are amongst the top 10 of public research schools and graduating students in a 4-year span, when you graduate, we want to have employment not only lined up for you, but multiple different options so you can, push that even further. Now, Education Abroad is an amazing program that we have. About 25% of our students study abroad. It's about double the nation's average. And even if you're going to the most intensive STEM major, including computer science or engineering, we're going to make sure that you have a program that you're going to want to be able to do, whether it be going internationally for a semester or for a, just a spring break. We're going to make sure it fits your curriculum so you can even do that going farther. Now, living learning programs, we do this is very uniquely. So when you come to the university, we understand it's a very daunting experience. You're going to a school with 30,000 students. We broke almost all freshmen into these living learning programs. So whether it be your focus on research or your focus on global issues or something that really, again, is based on what you're telling us in the application, we are separating you into these smaller programs where you'll live and you'll learn together for those either 1 to 2, sometimes even 4 years, depending on the program that you're in. All right, now that all sounds great. Kind of what do we need for the application? So I'm going to go really quickly into this just because due to time constraints. So we are a dual application platform. You can apply through the common application or the coalition. This is brand new in terms of applying to both. In terms of our deadlines, we have 2 deadlines, but really only 1. The reason is we take 90% of our class from that early action deadline. Additionally, everyone that applies early action is considered for scholarships as well as for the Honors College. Now, granted, those are given to the top 20% of our admitted student applicant pool. And again, we are a very competitive institution with a touch under 40,000 applications every year and an incoming class of only around 4,000. Our acceptance rate is around 40%. So if you wait until January, it gets even lower than that. This is an early action non-binding deadline. So you're going to want to make sure you apply by that November 1st deadline. And again, it is not required for you to come to the university if you are admitted. Now, in terms of what we need for a completed application, so application form and fee, letters of recommendation, we require 2 letters of recommendation. 2 is not the minimum. However, you can submit additional letters if you wish. Official transcripts, we are looking at your official transcripts, no self-reported grades. Same thing with test scores. So for the first year ever, we are test optional. For admission for the Honors College, for engineering, computer science, or for merit scholarships, you do not submit a test score. We did this on purpose to alleviate some stress. So again, you don't have to submit a score if you don't want to. We are not test blind. What that means is if you do submit a test score, you do have to, we will consider it. And then finally, we have an activity list or resume. Feel free to do whatever one you're most comfortable with. And then we have an essay. We do not have any supplemental essays. All right, well, I'll put my letter of recommendation at the my email address. If you have any further questions, here's our email address, applymaryland@umd.edu. Thank you guys very much.
Wonderful. Thank you, University of Maryland. Before we head on over to our next institution, I do want to make one more quick plug for that Q&A. And so if you have any questions from either college that you've already heard from or any of the ones you're about to hear from, don't forget about that Q&A option at the bottom of your screen. But with that, we'll go ahead and head on over to Sweet Briar.
Hi everyone, I'm Jessie. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at Sweet Briar. So Sweet Briar is an all-women's college. We're located about 20 minutes outside of Lynchburg, Virginia, about an hour from Charlottesville, 2 hours from Richmond, and about 3.5 hours from the Virginia Beach or the Nova area, depending on which direction you're coming from. We were founded in 1901 and our first class graduated in 1906. We are on about 3,000 acres, so lots of space to spread out. We have a really small student population intentionally. We've got about 400 students, so kind of the complete opposite of the last school you heard from, which means our average class sizes are about 7 to 8, maybe as many as 10 students. So there's lots of great one-on-one attention from professors. About 99% of our students live on campus, and we were able to offer single rooms to all of our students this year. We are back in person this fall, but because of COVID, we were able to offer single rooms to all of the students who wanted them. And we are dedicated to preparing young women to be leaders in the 21st century. We have about 20 undergraduate programs, including several pre-professional ones. We offer a Master's of Arts in Teaching, and we are one of 2 all-women's colleges that are ABET accredited for our engineering program, which means that you graduate with an engineering degree. You don't have to go on to get your master's to work in the field. We have a unique calendar system, so instead of doing 2 15-week semesters like you see at most institutions, we've broken those up. So we start the fall with a 3-week semester. You take 1 class every day for 3 weeks. That's great if you want to do a travel course, or maybe you aren't so great in math. I'm not a math person, where you would want to take a class that you just have to focus on that 1 class for 3 weeks and then you're done with it. We then go into a 12-week term where you take 4 or 5 classes like you would at any other institution. We have winter break, we come back in the spring for a 12-week session, and then finish up the spring semester with another 3-week session. So there's lots of flexibility. We offer travel courses and internships during those 3-week sessions. You can also study abroad if you're interested in doing that. We also have our leadership core, which has replaced our general studies requirements. So instead of taking 2 English, 2 math, 2 history, we have 10 courses that are spread out over your 4 years here at Sweet Briar, and they're all interdisciplinary to really prepare you to be a leader after graduation. We also have an academic resource center on campus where we offer free tutoring and time management skills and lessons for all of our students. And our career services office starts working with students during their first year. And about 90% of our students are either employed full-time or have gone on to graduate school within 6 months of graduation. Many of our students do internships, and they also do research projects with faculty. We had a student last year who was doing a project with her biology professor on the antimicrobial properties of birch bark from a particular tree she found on campus. So there's lots of great opportunities. We also offer $2,000 worth of grant money for all of our students to be used towards either an internship, study abroad, or a research opportunity. As long as it's academic based, you can use that $2,000 for whatever you want to. We have lots of clubs on campus. This is just an example of a few of them. Most popular are our beekeeping club. We do have beehives on campus. Our Black Student Alliance, our Latinx Student Alliance, and our GLOW organization are all very popular for our students. But something unique about Sweet Briar is that all of our students are automatically part of Student Government Association. So everyone is included on the emails, everyone's invited to the meetings, you don't have to opt into it, which I think is great. Everybody knows what's going on campus, even faculty and staff. We're a Division III school. We offer 7 different Old Dominion Athletic Conference teams. And this is a picture of all of them so you can see what we offer. And then we have 2 equestrian teams as well. So if you're interested in riding horses, or if you just want to go up and pet the horses, we do have our riding center on campus. We just renovated it this summer. And we also offer an equine studies certificate. So if you're interested in working, maybe going to the pre-vet side of thing, you want to work with big animals, you can do that on campus. If you want to be a riding coach or maybe own your own barn, you can do that through our equestrian studies certificate as well. So tuition, we are a private school. There's no in-state versus out-of-state tuition. Everybody pays the same. Tuition and room and board this year are $36,000. And then we award merit-based aid, just based off of your high school transcript and possibly your test scores if you choose to submit those. And 99% of our students receive some sort of aid from Sweet Briar. We also use the FAFSA to determine any additional aid, which opened last week. So you should jump on that if you're a senior. And then our application process, there's no fee to apply. You can apply on our website or through Common App, whichever is easiest for you. We have an early decision deadline of November 1st, an early action deadline of December 1st, but we are also on rolling admission. So whenever you apply, we don't leave you hanging. We try and get you that decision as soon as possible. We only require your high school transcript. And as long as you have a 3.0 or higher GPA, we are also test optional. If you aren't quite at that 3.0 level, we may ask for a letter of recommendation or a personal essay in lieu of those test scores, because we know a lot of students weren't able to take the SAT this past fall. And that's just for, we're always test optional. So even if you're a junior or a sophomore checking us out tonight, we'll still be with that 3.0 level. Optional pieces are your recommendation letters and your personal essays. If they're stressing you out, don't worry about it. We'd rather go ahead and get your application in. And then if you'd like to visit campus, we're doing both virtual tours and in-person visits. And you can register for either of those on our website. And let me know if you have any questions. It's great chatting with you guys tonight.
Great, thank you so much, Sweet Briar. We'll go ahead and move on over to Capital Tech.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Lisa Romero. I'm the Assistant Director here at Capital Technology University. With me today, I have Samantha Van Sant, who's our Associate Director of Admissions. She'll be available to answer any questions you might have about Capital Tech in the chat box. So feel free to submit them in throughout the presentation. So Capital Technology is one of the only private universities in the state of Maryland specifically dedicated to engineering, cybersecurity, computer science, and tech management. And basically what that means is that we are just a STEM university. I'll go ahead and leave the screen up for a while. So these are all of our academic programs that we offer. Our most popular majors here at Capital Tech are computer science and cybersecurity. We're also accredited by the Middle States Commission on Higher Education and the Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology. The QR code at the top right of the page is it's a link that'll take you over to our academic live sessions. We have two of them, or I'm sorry, we have them the second to last Saturday of the month. So feel free to scan your phone or scan the code if you're interested in learning a little bit more about our programs and maybe meeting with academic and faculty as well. So Capital Tech is actually located in Laurel, Maryland. So we're right in between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. We're that little pincushion on the map right there. If you've been to Maryland, we're right off 95 in Prince George's County. These are some of our most popular internship opportunities available for students that attend Capital Tech. What's so unique about us is that there is no 2-year wait to start your major. So students that come to Capital Tech will start taking classes their first semester here. And also what's really cool about that is that you can get an internship as early as the end of freshman year. So just something to kind of keep an eye on. Most of our faculty members too are, aside from their teaching, they're also working in the tech industry. So they're pretty up to date on the current trends. So they're able to take that knowledge and bring it back into the classrooms for our students to learn. We do have a fair every semester for internship and career opportunities that's open to all of our students, including freshmen as well. We actually have one this Friday, and we have paid internships available too, and that does vary by major. Our capital commitment to you is that we guarantee that you'll get a job within 90 days of graduation in your field of study at a competitive pay. If you want more information, feel free to send us a message in the Q&A chat. A couple of fast facts about the school. We have a very small student population. We have around 450 undergraduate students, so class size on average are about 12 students per class. Over half of our students represent the minority population. 80% of our students receive some form of financial aid. And 82% of students had a job offer within 90 days of commencement. Now, Capital Tech was also awarded one of the best cybersecurity programs in the nation by CS Magazine. So we take great pride in that. We do have on-campus housing available. So we have apartment-style residence halls. They opened in 2018. So they are available for students that are looking to live on campus. Any registered full-time student is eligible for housing. If you have a car, you're more than welcome to bring your car to campus. We do have free parking available. And then if you don't have a car, no worries. We have the service shuttle available too that can take you around town and grab groceries or run errands if needed. Our cost of attendance, so tuition is the same for in-state and out-of-state students. It's roughly $26,000 a year. On-campus housing is going to vary anywhere between $6,000 to $8,000 a year. We do have single, double, and triple rooms in the apartment, so that's why there's a price range on that. So we're looking at a total of $32,000 to $34,000 a year. Our Capital Tech tuition guarantee basically states that we promise that we will not increase your tuition by more than 1% throughout your 4 years at Capital Tech. On average, most colleges and universities increase their tuition anywhere between 3 to 5%. So we do try to keep the cost of attendance as affordable as possible. I'll go ahead and leave the screen up for a couple of seconds too. I know it's a little overwhelming, but these are all of the scholarship opportunities that we have available at Capital Tech. You're automatically screened for merit scholarships when you apply as a freshman. Our most popular scholarships are robotics and cyber. And then lastly, I do want to point out the scholarship on the bottom right-hand side is our CSP, which is a full tuition and fee scholarship opportunity for students. They will be eligible, or they'll be notified if they're eligible for the scholarship when they apply to the university. I'll go ahead and leave this screen up for a couple more seconds, and then I'll go ahead and move forward. If you're interested in applying to Capital Tech, we're available on the Common App and on our website. The application is free. In addition to your application, make sure that you submit your transcripts as well. And also your FAFSA, we have provided the school code there for you. If you have any AP scores, Project Lead the Way credits, send those in, because depending on your major, you can be exempt from certain classes within your major. And lastly, if you have any professional certifications, such as a CompTIA or Security Plus certification, make sure to send those in as well. And lastly, here's my contact information. If you liked what you heard today, feel free to scan the QR code to stay in touch. And yeah, thank you so much for attending, and I hope to see you soon.
Awesome, thank you so much, Capital Tech. Now we'll head on over to our final institution of this session, William & Mary.
Probably need to turn on the sound. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you. I'm here to talk to you a little bit more about William & Mary. My name is Jackie Thomas. I'm one of the assistant deans of undergraduate admission here at the College of William & Mary, and I get the distinct pleasure of serving the entire state of New York in the Richmond area. We at William & Mary are the second oldest institution of higher learning in the country. We were the first to get our charter. However, Harvard beat us to the punch. We were the first institution with the law school and first institution with the honor system. But what that tells you is that we are old and have a lot of great traditions. We pride ourselves in being a small to mid-sized institution. So you've heard colleagues what a really small school looks like and what a larger school can look like. And we're nestled really in the middle with about 6,300 undergraduate students and about a little over 2,400 graduate students. We are nestled in Williamsburg, Virginia. So for any of you who have ever visited Colonial Williamsburg or Busch Gardens, we're about 10 minutes from either. For any of you out there who are in the Richmond area, we're about an hour away from there. Nova, give or take any time on 95, we're about 2 to 3 hours from there. And DC. We believe ourselves to be a strong collaborative community with students who are doers. We stand by our motto, one tribe of many voices, and that's represented in our nearly 500 student-run organizations and clubs, 15 NCAA Division I sports, 45 clubs, and we have a pretty diverse background breakup of students. Being an old institution, the second oldest in the country, we were founded as a predominantly white institution, but we continue to move forward and rectify those things for underrepresented communities in our own community of William & Mary. So these are our numbers over here, and they're growing. So we are a liberal arts and science institution, which means you get about 11-to-1 student faculty ratio. So if any of you are students who know that you learn better in smaller environments, you won't exceed a class over 35 students. Our large classes, about 3% of all of our classes, 3% of our classes don't get over 100 students or more. So you won't ever have to be in large lecture halls that you might experience at larger institutions. We are also #1 for study abroad as a public state institution in the country. And it's wonderful to see that because our students get to experience globalized learning, either from study at home programs or study away programs that lend themselves to be anything from 2 weeks to our extensive joint degree program with St. Andrews College in Scotland, where students get to experience half of their undergraduate education in the US and half of their education in Scotland. We also have the joy of giving our students a research institution. We are a liberal arts college, but we offer our students a research institution amenities, having about 80% of our students participate in undergraduate research done with faculty guidance. So I'm going to jump straight into the facts and figures. We at William & Mary do have a 100% guaranteed demonstrated need coverage. So that's for our Virginia students. So we know we're talking to you if you have a desire and any of the things that I'm talking about really resonate with you. Know that William & Mary does offer opportunity for aid, an aid that is based off of demonstrated need. You don't have to pay that back. So the nitty gritty here is we're looking for academically curious students both inside and outside the classroom. When we look at your application, somebody reads your application at least 2 times, and then we bring your application to committee. It's read once by a dean staff member, second by your dean who knows your school, who's putting you in context, and then we bring you to committee. We're looking at students who have taken challenging courses and done well in their classes as far as academics. I do want to lean in to tell you we are test optional. We realize that there are a number of equity barriers within testing this year and moving forward. So for this cycle and the continuing cycles, we are not requiring students to submit test scores in order to be considered for admission. This is the same for our merit-based scholarships. All students who apply are considered for merit-based scholarships upon completing their application. On the personal quality side, we're looking for you to submit letters of recommendation. We only require 1 for each of our students, but you could submit as many as you want. We also are looking for you to share any of those extracurricular activities that you're involved in. Again, William & Mary students are dynamic both inside and outside the classroom. And then last thing we want to see is you wow us with your essay. That's one great opportunity for you to just share a little bit more about yourself with the committee so we can really see where you would fit at William & Mary. The GPA, I don't want you to get too caught up on that. That is just a demonstration of our students who are really academically curious. We have early decision 1 and 2, which are binding decisions. Early decision 1, November 1st, early decision 2, January 2nd, regular decision, and these are the transfer dates. If you have any questions, ask.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, William & Mary. We do have a question. It's specifically for William & Mary, but I think it would be great if just everyone would like to chime in and answer. So someone would like to know what the campus culture is like at each of your institutions.
William & Mary is a very collaborative campus. Students are very passionate, and you can see that even, I would encourage you right now as you're exploring looking at colleges, look on the social media accounts of clubs and organizations for your school, and you'll really see where our students put their energy and time into. I think students want to work, and we really stand behind one tribe of many voices. So students have various interests, but they all work together. It's very collaborative in general.
I would say Western's very active in outdoor activities. We've won Top Outdoor Adventure College multiple times. Students are very active in community service. We're very active in our clubs and organizations on campus. So our campus culture has a lot of very active students in different ways.
Sweet-Briar is pretty similar. We are a very supportive community. A lot of people think, oh, an all-girls school, they're just going to be really catty with each other. That is not the case at all. Our students are very supportive of each other. Everybody wants everybody else to succeed, and will do whatever they can to help you get to your end goal, whatever that is.
I would think at UMD, we're very, I would say, competitive and large atmosphere. I mean, so when you're going to a big school like Maryland, especially, you know, in the Big Ten and part of just the culture environment, you're going to get challenged. And we want that for students who want to accept the challenge. There's so many things you can take advantage of. We want people that are looking to take advantage of those rather than kind of just passing by.
I would say Capital Technology is very collaborative. Our motto is Feed Your Geeks. So at Capital Tech, we take great pride in being a geek. Most of our students for fun will hang out and play video games in between classes in our student center.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for each touching on that a little bit more. So I think with that, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. If you still have a question, feel free to send it on through and we can circle back to it. But I do want to give a big thank you to all of our college representatives who are here to share a little bit more about each of their institutions, and a big thank you to all of you for joining. Note that you will have a quick survey appear on your screen as soon as this session ends. And so feel free to just take a quick minute to fill that out for us. It's very helpful for us to get some feedback on these sessions as we move forward in our virtual college exploration events. I do want to remind you all that there are additional sessions happening in the coming weeks, so feel free to sign up for those at www.strivescan.com/Virginia. And at that same link, you'll be able to find a recording of this session within the next week. So thank you once again to our representatives. Thank you once again to all of you. And I hope that you all have a great rest of your day.